Hello, I'm back, better than ever. Well, maybe not better than ever, but let's just pretend for now. First thing you might notice is that I now have a fringe. Yes, normally I have a side fringe, but as you may have noticed in my last video, if you watched that, I was getting kind of annoyed with it because it had grown too long, and I decided to try and cut it myself, and I kind of ended up cutting it into a proper fringe. So I now have a fringe. But it's okay, because the fringe looks alright, and I used to have a fringe when I was a kid anyway, so, you know, I just look like a kid again. I don't know if I sound any different. I think I sound a little bit different in real life. Not very much though, because I've had a cold. It wasn't too bad, to be honest. It just meant that I was kind of like a bit for a while, and I kept sneezing and coughing. And I was like, but I'm pretty much over that now. It didn't help that it was kind of like cold. And yeah, but like my mate Tiri, she ended up with it too, and she had it worse than me, so I kind of really pity her. And I think I've now passed the cold on to a lot of other people, so I'm like, yay, my work here is done. So 4 weeks into sixth form, and I still like it. I know, I'm so sad, but I do. And I still like media, and they've got a really cool editing program at school, because like I use like Windows Movie Maker, because you know it's the standard one which comes with any Windows package, and it does the job well, and I always thought it was pretty good. But at school they've got Adobe Premiere Elements, and that is so good, seriously. I want to use it. I want it, but it's like over 80 quid, and I was like, I don't want to spend over 80 quid on an editing program. But I don't know. Do you think if I begged my mum, she'd get it for me for Christmas? Actually, no, I won't ask for it for Christmas, because I want an iPod Nano for Christmas. I know, I'm thinking about it already. It's not my fault that I'm thinking about it already. It's because it's been everywhere, hasn't it? Like, there's been Christmas adverts already, and it's been like, everybody's started singing Christmas or doing the countdown to Christmas. I mean, the second best-selling app for iPhones at the moment is How Many Days Till Christmas. And seriously, it's like, well, it's October now, but this was like early September. It's like, early September is way too soon to be thinking about Christmas. I'm sorry, but it is. And I'm not a bar humbug kind of person at all, because like when it gets to about mid-November, I then start going completely mental about Christmas. I'm like, oh my god, it's Christmas soon, and I absolutely adore Christmas. I'm such a big kid. But you know, when I was a kid, I wasn't thinking about Christmas in September. I was thinking about Christmas mid-November, which is when like all the proper Christmas stuff happens. So it's way too soon to start thinking about Christmas, peoples. It also means that I've got to start thinking about getting prezzies for everybody. I probably ought to start thinking about it now, because I've got like birthday prezzies to get as well. Because it was my mate Becky's birthday last weekend, and so I had to get a prezzie for her. And then I've got like so many birthdays coming up already, and then I've got to get Christmas prezzies. So it's like I probably ought to start thinking now about what I'm gonna get. That'd probably be a good idea, but like I said, it's too soon to be thinking about Christmas. Birthdays is fine, Christmas is like, no. What was I talking about before I started rambling on about Christmas anyway? Oh, right. Sixth form, that was it, wasn't it? Yeah, so sixth form's been pretty cool. I'm gonna have a lot of trips which I'm gonna need to save up for this year, because I've got a media trip in March down to London, and we're gonna watch a West End musical. That's like the main highlight of it, to be honest. And like loads of other media stuff generally, hence why it's a media trip. I don't know when, but at some point I'm going to be going down to London again to watch more West End shows. With media, I don't know what ones they're going to be though, because not with media. Did I say media? No, I meant theatre. No, with theatre, not media. And I don't know what ones they're going to be, because it'll be up to my teacher to decide. And then about, I think, April time, I'm going to be going to Paris with French, because last year, with my GCSE class, I was meant to be going to Lille but that never went ahead. So even though this trip is supposed to be for year 8s, the year 12s have been told, right, you can go on it too, because we're just that cool, and because the French department loves us. Oh, and talking of French, yesterday in my French class, because I have double French first thing on a Friday, and our teacher decided that we could have a coffee break between lessons. I thought this just meant we could have like 5 minutes rest, but she actually bought us all a hot drink and like a cookie or a flapjack. So I was like, oh, that's so sweet. And like, she's like the best teacher ever now. But yeah, back to the trip anyway. This probably means I'm going to need to find a job. I didn't get the job Brantano. I can't remember if I said that in my last video or not, but I didn't get the job. And I've got another interview on Tuesday. Hopefully I'll do a bit better at that one. That'd be nice, actually getting a job. That sounds like such a good idea. It's a shame because, you know, I work really hard at sixth form, but I don't get paid for it. In fact, I have to like pay for all my materials and stuff. So it's like, why can't I get paid too? Oh, that also reminds me, right, even though I absolutely love sixth form, I still do, I didn't take art at A-level for a reason, because art is not exactly my strong point. But I've had to like use art in media and theatre already, because like in media I've had to be drawing storyboards, and in theatre currently I'm making a mask, which actually is quite cool, because, well, I was going to do a wolf, but then we got told that we couldn't do animals, because we got to do a scripted piece rather than make up our own piece. So I'm going to do a werewolf instead, because theoretically a werewolf is still part human. I don't know if I'll be able to show you guys my mask when it's finished, because I don't know if I'll be able to take it home or not, because, you know, most of the masks seem to stay at the sixth form. But I'm going to see if I can take it home, because I want to show people it, if it's cool. If it's not, if it's like really crappy, then I'll be like, no. But if it looks good, then yeah, I want to show it ready. Talking of drama, I'm hopefully going to be in one of the school shows. Like the main school musical was meant to be Oklahoma, but for some reason they've changed it to Fiddler on the Roof. But there doesn't seem to be any auditions for year 12s, so I'm slightly confused, and I've decided this year that I'm not going to go for the main school musical, although I might like play instruments in the orchestra, because I know that my music teacher wanted me to do that last year, but I was actually in it last year, so I couldn't, so she'll probably drag me into that. But I'm going to audition for the senior drama club piece instead, which is Caucasian Chalk Circle. If you've never heard of it, don't worry, I hadn't either until I heard that that was what we were doing. I really had no idea what it was about. I told my dad it was called Caucasian Chalk Circle, and he said, what is it about a Caucasian who stands in the middle of a chalk circle? I was like, I'm guessing that's probably not the main plot. And as it happens, there is actually a chalk circle in it, but that's, you know, that's not the main plot of the story. It's not a story about this chalk circle. That'd be a slightly weird play. I'm not going to go into the plot details now. If you want to know it, you can Google it. It's on Wikipedia. That's how I found it out. But it looks really good, and I hope I get in. Well, I probably will get in, because Kate loves me. But I hope I can get in, and I hope I get a good part, and I hope it goes well, because that'd be cool. And that also reminds me, with my sticking my tongue out like that, right, this is slightly weird, and might seem slightly off topic, but, in our orchestra today, we were kind of talking about things that we can and can't do with our bodies. No weird thoughts there, because, like, James can do this weird thing with his hands, where he can, like, kind of dislocate them all and go like that. Well, not like that, because that's just weird, like, all crossed over, and it looks weird. But then I did this. And I hope you saw that. Basically, I kind of like turning my tongue on my side. I know some people can roll their tongues, like, but I can do that too. And I always thought as a kid that that was normal, that everybody could do that. But it turns out that it's actually quite a rare thing to be able to do. I only know one other person who can do it, and she's like my step cousin Savannah. So, if you can do that too, then, you know, like, give me a comment or a video response showing me that you can do it too, because I want to find some more people who can turn their tongue sideways. Because we're cool, ain't we? Yeah, in it blood. No, we're cool because we can turn our tongue sideways. I can't do it the other way though. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I can't. Okay, enough rambling for now, because I've got plans for this evening. Yeah, that's made it sound slightly evil. No, they're just, kind of a bit of a get-together around my mate's house. Have a few drinks. Watch X Factor! Yeah. This is how I spend my Saturday evenings, watching X Factor, either at my house or someone else's. Actually, I have no idea who's going to win X Factor this year. Partly because it hasn't got down to the final 12, and partly because I have no idea. As you can tell, I'm a fan of the X Factor. I probably don't appear as that type of person, but I am. I do like the X Factor. But I don't usually end up supporting the person who ends up winning. Because like last year I wanted Lucy to win and she got voted out fairly early, and the year before I wanted Ruth to win and she got voted out fairly early. So I might just not support anyone this year. I might be just like, yeah, I'll just watch it for the fun of it. I will see you guys later. Well, I will if you're meeting up with me later. If you're not, then I won't. But sometime.